Hi everyone, so here's the cross-country fitness video. This is just a gentle beginnings. I recommend that if anything hurts, was painful, you stop what you're doing immediately because we don't want to injure ourselves. I'll introduce you to two dogs that are staying with me at the moment. Not very engaged at the moment, but maybe they'll liven up after a bit. Resources that I find useful is this big guy, a 6 kilogram kettlebell, bit heavy to start with. If you don't have a kettlebell, or if you've got a lighter one, even better. But if you don't, you could just as easily use a bucket or a water container for the kettlebell exercise. Always good idea to start light with weights. Got a couple of dumbbells. If you've got any of these lying around, then pick them up. The lighter the better to begin with, and as we get stronger we can increase the resistance. So these are just 2.5 kilograms, but again this will do fine as well, so we can improvise with milk cartons or whatever. Elastic band, again not essential for this first workout, but as we progress it can create a little bit more resistance for the clamshell exercise. So there's our resources. Also a prop is a brolly or a walking stick to use for the lunges, to steady yourself. So the lunges are about building strength and balance as well. So we can start with the stick if we're not so steady, and then we can lose the stick for lunges to improve our balance. So there's all the resources, and we're just going to start with a very gentle warm-up. So with me now, we're just going to scoop up, breathe in and stretch to the side twice, keeping your neck nice and soft. Breathe in, breathe out as you stretch to the side. So you're stretching the side parts of your body to begin with. 1, 2, scoop up, breathe in, 1, 2, breathe out. We'll do one more on each side. 1, 2, scoop up and breathe out. And we're going to do some rolls, some hip rolls. So just rotate the hip in a nice big circle, imagining that you're inside a barrel, painting the inside of a barrel a nice straight line, and the barrel gets bigger, and then you can gradually let your arms go and let your shoulders relax, and really sort of go into this lovely hip roll just to loosen up the hips. And we can rotate the other way as well. 10 rolls on the other side. 4, 5, 6, expanding, increasing the stretch. Feel your ankles soothing, your knees as well. Everything's sort of getting a little bit lubricated. And we're going to roll our shoulders back, 5 times back, and then 5 times forward, keeping your neck nice and soft, and some very, very gentle neck rolls. Just let your head rest on your chin, rest on your chest, and then very, very slowly let your head roll past all those little crunchy places. I'm feeling quite crunchy today. And roll back the other way. Don't push it. Anything hurts, just acknowledge that and just be really, really gentle on ourselves. If we're not used to training, we really, really need to go nice and slowly and then build it up slowly. And now we're going to stretch up. Keep your soft between your ears, neck soft, and then nice big swallow dive down, hang hang and just let your spine lengthen, let your neck be soft, and then tightening up your core muscles very, very, very slowly, rolling up. And one more time, reach up, swallow dive down. This time, place your hands in front of you and just step back into a nice plank. Be careful of any sagging, so tighten up your core muscles, feel your quads engaging, your glutes, your bum muscles, so no sagging, no sandcastles, nice and strong, just holding it there for another 10 seconds. If your wrists are hurting, you can come down into a lower plank, but again maintain that tension. It's all about the core muscles now, tightening up your core muscles, waking them up. Come back up onto your hands and just rock back into a nice downward dog, and then just let your feet pedal out just to stretch out your calf muscles. Lovely. Stretching out your calf muscles, and then let yourself step forward up to your hands, hang there for a few moments, and then roll up. Okay, we're going to do some good old-fashioned squats, and the focus is on the knees going out and away over the feet. So only go as deep as you can with the knees going out and away. As soon as they start pulling in, it's time to stop. So the movement pattern is knees away. And we can just do it with our hands together, or we can have a little bit of resistance if we want. Entirely up to you. So we're going to go 30 squats now, and at the end of each squat, pushing your pelvis forwards, tightening your butt muscles. So it's all about completing the squat with your hip flexors, pushing forward slightly. So complete the motion, knees away. Just notice if your knees are tweaking inwards, and just lessen the squat if that's what's happening. Ten more to go. Dogs haven't moved yet. It's blowing a hoolie out there, that's probably why. Okay, now we're going to just go into a little walking on the spot. Again, aware of your knees not going inwards, so knees away, knees away. Begin to extend the elbows forwards. And now we're going to emulate the cross-country ski diagonal stride. So, opposite arm, opposite leg. So as your back leg goes backwards, your front elbow comes forwards. If you're struggling with your balance, you can have your feet wider apart, wider tracks. If you've got good balance, you can have your feet closer together. Little bounce just to get the momentum. Again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can slow it down. And here we are with cross-country skiing. So the more of this that we can do, the more we can set up the movement pattern, making sure that we've got opposite arm, opposite leg for balance. And now it's time for dumbbell or water container or one of these. So this movement, legs wide apart, a nice deep swing, and push your pelvis forwards to finish the motion. So this is all about the hip flexors, glutes, nice big wide motion. Don't do too heavy a weight, or it could hurt your back. So is all about the hip flexors, pushing your pelvis forward. 10 of these, I've lost count, that's probably 10. Nice hip rolls just to ease it out. We're going to do 3 reps of 10 with those kettlebells. 5 rolls in one direction, 5 rolls in the other, just to keep it all loose. Pick up your kettlebell again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, knees away, soft neck, 8, 9, 10. Pop it down again, bring your feet together a little bit and just have another hip roll. Getting quite a workout now. Hip roll the other way. So this is the last swing of the kettlebell before we do some lunges. So, okay, last 10. Okay, you ready? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Have a little shake out now before we go into some lunges. Right, the next thing we're going to do is some lunges. And again, really focusing on the knee going out and away, so resisting any pulling in of the knee. We can start with a prop. Props are fine, so we can start by doing 10 with a prop. So we're going to step back and lunge. So that's 2, 3, 4. Just have a look at the knee every now and then to make sure it's not pulling in, that it's coming outwards, away, knees away. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to swap sides using a prop. So it's 1, knees away, 2, head forwards and up, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're strengthening the quad muscle at the front, and we're also strengthening the ankle at the back as well. So, and we're maintaining stability in the pelvis. And now we can either keep hold of the prop for the next set or not, as the case may be, as we sort of step down. Whoops, there we go. So immediately it's challenging our balance. 3, helps to look forward. 4, 5, so have a quick check that my knee's not pulling in. 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we can do the lunge with the other arm, and we can work those cross-country ski arms as well. Think about pushing the front elbow forwards. Nine, 10, and then the final lunge, we can use a weight if we want to, just to create a bit of resistance and do some arm strengthening at the same time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and swap, making sure that your feet are parallel as if they're in those parallel tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's 11. And now we're going to come down and a low lunge this time. So knee flat on the ground. Put your hand on the knee to stabilise and also to encourage the outward direction. And we're just going to do a little bit of tricep strengthening. So that's the muscles at the back of the upper arm, which are used a lot in diagonal stride. So we're going to do 10 on each side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And swap over. Stabilise the knee. Strengthening the tricep muscles. And we can do a few more rounds of this if we want. I'm just going to demonstrate with 2 rounds of 10. No, I'll do another 10 on each side, just so that you can really feel that you're working those triceps. 7, 8, 9, 10, and swap over again. Knee just above the ankle, so don't lean too far forward. Just get it nice and stacked there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can increase the weight if you feel this isn't really doing anything for your triceps. You can use heavier weights. If you don't have dumbbells, you can use tins or even milk cartons full of sand from the sand pit or something like that. But dumbbells are quite useful. Or you can go with no resistance at all, just your arms, because even just using your arms, you will be working your tricep. 8, 9, 10. Put the weight down and just take it into a plank. So you can either go with the low plank or the high plank, entirely up to you, for 30 seconds. Or you can do a variation. You can actually alternate low plank, high plank, which again is working your triceps. Or if that's a little bit too much strenuous, just hold the plank. And again, while we've got the side profile, just be careful of any sagging here. So really sort of pull your muscles in tight, suck your belly in towards your spine, tighten up your glutes, tighten up your thigh muscles, your quads, and just hold that pose. And again, if your wrists hurt, you can take it down, or you can do a variety of down up to work it more. And I reckon that's another 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just bring it back into your downward dog. Stretching out your calves. Nice bit of just pedaling out the feet there. Really giving your calves a chance to stretch out. And in a moment we're going to do some knees tapping the elbows, which again, it's mainly challenging your core muscles. So when you're ready, I'll just demonstrate. You're going to bring a knee to the elbow and then back. Knee to the elbow and back. It's quite strenuous. Knee to the elbow and back. Knee to the elbow and back. If you don't feel that you can support your body weight yet, then just take it back into a low plank, because that's also going to be challenging your core muscles. So don't overdo it. I'm going to do 5 more on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then come down into a Muslim prayer and rest for a moment. Great. Do a little bit more floor work, but we're just going to come back to that movement pattern again. So this is something, it's a really good idea to practice in front of the mirror. We're just going to go back to a little bit of final diagonal striding, just to remind ourselves that it's opposite arm, opposite leg, knee out and away, arm projecting forwards, the other arm almost being thrown backwards, knees out and away, just a tiny little bounce just to get that feeling that we're kicking and we're gliding through the snow, holding the balance, enforcing that pattern. And if we can do this in front of the mirror, I know when I do it in front of the mirror I can see that my knees want to pull in unless my feet are splayed outwards slightly, whereas in the tracks our feet are going to be perfectly parallel, so the tendency will be for the knees to want to pull in. So we're really wanting to train the muscles, the outer thigh muscles, the adductors, to balance the knees. And that's the next exercises that we're going to work on, which is called the clamshell exercise. Now we've turned over and I'm going to show you the clamshell, which is a really important exercise for the balance of the inner and outer thighs, as well as the gluteal maximus, which stabilises the pelvis. So very, very important exercise. The more of these that we can do, the better for stabilising the pelvis. The clamshell involves lying on one side with your hips stacked one on top of the other, your feet stacked one on top of the other, and your knees bent at about just a bit less than 90 degrees. And now you relax down onto the floor, onto your elbow. This hand can be here. Just again make sure that it's all stacked up, lined up, and then you're simply lifting your knee up. You don't want to lift it too high because you don't want to start rolling. So you're isolating the glutes, the outer thigh muscles. So I'm actually going to put my hand there to make sure that I don't roll over. So do 10 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to roll over and do clamshells on the other side. So again, just making sure that the knees are stacked, one on top of the other, feet glued together, and then lifting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now you can either stay with that exercise, 3 reps, or you can move it onto the next level, which is where you lift your hips up into like a mini side plank, and again clamshelling it, making sure that you keep everything stable. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and swap sides. That's quite strenuous. It's like a mini side plank. Again, knees on top of one another, feet stacked, and then just lift your pelvis up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Now, if you've got one of these, you can then build up a tiny bit more resistance for your clamshells. Not essential because they're challenging enough as they are, but if you want to just keep working on those thigh muscles and those glutes, again, lift up, but this time using a bit more resistance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, that's hard work. And again, lifting up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, just lie on your back and grab hold of your knees and just do a bit of a roll just to stretch out your lower back. Make sure you haven't tweaked anything. Give yourself a little lower back massage. And then you can take your arms out and just have a little roll as far as is comfortable. You can let your head roll in the opposite direction if you like, just to have a nice spiral stretch in the spine. And then place your feet on the floor, hands by your side, and just lift up to a nice bridge. You can link your hands together if you want to, just to open up your chest. And we're just going to hold that for 30 seconds. So your thighs are really working, your glutes are nice and tight working. Just holding that position. If that's too easy, you can always do some little extensions or just hold that position. Another 10 seconds. And then roll your spine back down again. And hug your knees one more time. And just have a little roll. And then place your feet down. And place your right foot over your left knee. And if you can, we'll do a little thread the needle. So lifting up and just placing your hands underneath your left thigh. And just very, very gently pulling your knee towards your head. If you want to, you can lift your head up just to extend that stretch. And let your head go and release. And then swap sides. So left ankle over right thigh. Thread the hands through, thread the needle. And then just bring your knees up. Your right knee up. And you can bring your chin up to face your knee if you want. Just to stretch out your lower back a little bit more. A little bit of a crunch. And then release it again. And then we'll just pause for a moment there. Before we roll up onto all fours and just do a little bit of cat-cow. Breathing in and breathing out, just to stretch out your spine. Breathe in, arch your back. Breathe out, suck your tummy in, and then bend your feet. Come back up into that downward dog. Pop your feet up, back towards your hands. Hang there for a moment. And we're done. So well done, more to follow. The most important thing is the cardio work that we're getting out. We're going to motivate ourselves to get out at least twice a week to do something cardio. Either half an hour run, a little bit longer for cycling, walking up a hill briskly. It's all about getting out of breath, getting some cardio work going, and as much yoga as you possibly can do. Gentle yoga and lots of balance work. And I'll put another video out. I hope you join me. It's doing me a lot of good, and I hope it's doing you some good as well. And please give me any feedback, what you're finding useful, not so useful. I've never made a video like this before, but I'm up for it. So let's keep going. Keep skiing.